Peace, peace, peace. All right, so you guys are having a phenomenal day. If not, do get and understand it's going to get better once your perception gets better. So today's video is about the employer said, or your employer said, that you are replaceable. I remember growing up, my grandmother always had this saying. She would say, as long as I know I did everything that I can do in my ability to do so, then I don't have no regret, because I know I gave that relationship, that job, my all in all. Do get and understand that everything, it is based upon your self-image. Okay? If you are working somewhere and that company or that supervisor is speaking to you a certain type of way, and you feel afraid to speak up because you think that you may lose their job, because you have put their job on a pedestal, and you may feel like that is the only way that you could survive, is you staying in that job and allowing someone to speak to you in your type of way. Do get and understand that their job is not your source. Okay? Whatever it is that you believe in is your source, and is your way for you to survive. Okay? I remember when I was working at this company, and it was a supervisor who always used to say stuff to me, like just was very unpleasant. And at that time, I felt like he was picking with me. I felt like he just was out to get me, right? And whatever you focus on, that's what grows. I didn't know that at the time. But I remember one day I had spoke to the store manager about this supervisor, and the supervisor basically was saying that what I was saying wasn't true, and I guess he had a complex or something about him working on himself, because he said to me in front of the store manager, he said, "You mean to tell me all the work that I have done on myself, I am not gonna, or the work that I done on myself, it is not in vain," like in other words, because maybe he was doing work on himself, personal development or something, and maybe, sometimes when we doing work on ourselves, we think that we are just, everything is just, now we are perfect, right? And oftentimes that's not the case. Sometimes you may think that, oh, well, this is all gone, or whatever it is, the belief systems is, is out of my system, or whatever it is, but this is an ongoing thing. Doing the work on yourself is ongoing, okay? And from that point on, from when me and this supervisor and the store manager had a little meeting, the supervisor, he started treating me better, because I guess I caught him out on his shit. Sometimes in life, you may be afraid to do so, because you may think that, they probably team up on you, or maybe they'll try to make your workload harder, or whatever it is. I don't care if your voice is shaking while you speaking up. Do speak up. Do understand that it's nothing that they can do, right? And as long as your employer have this perception of people are replaceable, you or they may feel that way, but understand you are one of a kind. Understand that you do not have to tolerate or accept the unacceptable. Understand that you matter. Understand that you are worthy. Once you start doing and start looking at yourself like you matter, not as the person that dropped out of 11th grade, not as the person that mother wasn't there, not as the person that your father wasn't there. Start looking at yourself like you worthy. And you worthy because you here. You worthy because you exist. That's it. There's no other explanation behind it. You worthy because. And I remember I had this passenger when I was doing Uber. And when a passenger got in my car, I picked her up from this luxury building. And it was so nice, the building. But when she got in my car and we started talking, she started telling me about this lady that she works for. And she was basically like the secretary for the lady. And I remember she said that the lady talked to her like very down. She speak down to her. And I asked her, why do you stay? And one of the things she said was because, one, where she live at, she has to pay rent. And then two, she spoke to her friends about leaving, and her friends said she was crazy because the amount of money that she make at the job. Oftentimes, you tend to put yourself on sale without even realizing it. I know I have done it several times because of fear. You have to understand that you are deserving. And so the passenger that I had, we stayed in touch. After she got out of my car, we exchanged numbers. And she was into the same exact thing, like the personal development. And we stayed in contact. And I remember she finally left the job. But she had to make a sacrifice. And that sacrifice was her and her son moving into her sister's house. You gotta ask yourself, are you non-negotiable when it comes down to you? Are you willing to make the sacrifice and understand that everything is going to work out for the greater good? Once you start understanding it and start following your heart, the universe, it will conspire to work in your favor. Doors will just start opening. Things will start being revealed to you. Why? Because you spoke up. Because you took the leap out on faith. Because you didn't allow men to dictate what you can say and what you cannot say. So do get and understand, whatever it is, you do not have to settle. And your family may even say you crazy because you have decided to leave a job where they do not appreciate you, because your family is only seeing the money aspect. And when you speak up, you allow others to speak up. So do get and understand that everything is within you. Source is within you. That employer is not your provider. They may be your provider or they may be paying you now, but it's something far greater and grander than that. And that's what really helps me on my journey, is to understand that the universe always works in my favor. And you got to get that. And so with that being said, I hope you guys got something from this. Know your worth. Know your value. Understand it. It may feel like you lost something because you decided to quit. It may feel like you lost something because maybe you even got fired. But you have not lost anything, only but the game.